where it came from, what was the source, when did we capture it, how stale or fresh is that data. So it's really all about that data. Getting that is very foundational to data-driven marketing. It's one thing to solve data analytically, and it's something else to solve for it operationally. So it's okay if we've got a data warehouse or a big data platform where we've got lots of data and we're generating insights, but what's really important is how do we act upon those insights and make it more real-time and operational. And so we really need to have a good operational system, a good platform by which we can activate it. So knowing in real time what's happening, that somebody was just on the web, they were just researching a problem, and now they're calling our call center or they're doing something on their mobile device, we need to make that data available, not just analytically so we can say after the fact, here's what happened and play Monday morning quarterback, but more real time so we can respond to the customer's needs and have a better customer experience.
All right, so we're talking about live data. All right, you can call it data management or data tracking, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's the thing. All of our apps collect data, ladies and gentlemen, and it's being sold. But you and I are not getting any of the money. So first of all, let's just face the facts. All right, so this is significant here. So now we can download an app for free, but now you and I can be a beneficiary of the monetary side, right? So we sell data too, but our data is anonymous. So it's important. No one knows that it's you, all right? And they will never know that it's you. All it's going to show is where you have been. And the company is able to sell it many times to major companies and marketing groups. And in fact, the more people that we have that download the app, the bigger companies that we are able to monetize that data with. So this is very, very significant. And we understand we want to start off with 50,000 people who have downloaded the app. We want to maintain that for a certain period of time, and we want to continue to grow that number of downloaders. And that's going to create some significant revenue for us. So what are some of the companies that collect this type of data? Well, here's a few of them right on the screen. So Instant Recall collects and sells the data. It's monitored by both the Play Store and the Apple Store to make sure that it's the only place that is place-to-place movement and all data remains anonymous. So the apps are monitored so that we know that everything is anonymous. But who would want this data? Well, certainly Airbnb, Uber, Spotify, Microsoft, Foursquare, and many others, ladies and gentlemen. And so as we get into this, you're going to understand this more and more. There's a significant demand for this type of data. So what is the risk-reward ratio? Well, first of all, there's minimal financial risk because you can't pay less than free. So it's totally free. There's minimal financial barriers to participate. Anyone can participate. And it's all about doing well by doing good. Some will, some won't. So what next? We just share the app consistently and watch and see what will happen for this community and for your family. So together, we can help feed the hungry in America. Each one of us, our installed apps create 5 meals for feeding America in the United States and Canada. It's free now, it's free forever, and you can create meals and get paid for doing it. We can also help each other and achieve our own financial dreams in America and around the world. So yes, this is open to people from around the world. Anyone can participate anywhere around the world by downloading this app. So here is our chance, ladies and gentlemen. You can now get a piece of the action by downloading our app. You want to get back with the person who shared this page with you, and let's work together to help make dreams come true for a lot of people in organizations like schools and other nonprofits around the world. You probably know some nonprofits organizations that could use some additional funding coming in. We've got an opportunity to help them, and it won't cost them or their supporters not even one penny. So this is what we're talking about. We believe that right now is the perfect time to be involved with Instant Recall and its partnership with Feeding America. All right, so what I want to do right now, we've got some special guests on the call. I want to give them an opportunity to share their story with us. First person is the gentleman that introduced this to me. His name is Mr. Hinton Battle. He's a good friend of mine. We actually have worked together on several projects over the years. He's a person who works with a lot of college groups. He's been doing it for a number of years now and other civic organizations as well. Let's see if we can get him on the call. And Mr. Battle, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am, Mark. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the call.
Well, thank you very much. Glad to be on.
Definitely. And so if you would, can you share with us, how you heard about this project and why you're so excited about this moving forward?
Well, I heard about the project from a dear friend. Him and I have been doing business for 10 years. And so we've done a lot of business online. I was excited about it once he told me about it. First, let me be real on this. I get myself too busy sometimes. And initially when he sent it to me, I didn't get around to look into it. So I'm going to tell everybody on this call, and always tell your friends, find the time when someone sends you something to review it. So I just recommend that to everybody, because if I did not make the time, I wouldn't be excited, as happy as I was. So Bill Terryberry introduced it to me. I reviewed it, and I just thought it was outstanding because of the fact that, one, like you said, I deal with a lot of college students. So I'm trying to teach a lot of young kids about how to develop as entrepreneurs, how to grow business, and the movement of what they're doing with technology, things, and different from most of us growing up. They have an opportunity to learn to be better. But one of my greater sides is also community. So doing things in the community, social development, teaching, but most of all giving. As you know, I do a lot of big feeding programs of my own. So just dealing with organizations and groups to be able to, as they say, fund them and fund you is a wonderful thing. So that's why I'm excited, Mark.
Awesome, awesome. Now you've got some special guests on the call with you right now, and maybe you could introduce them.
Okay, well, we're gonna do it this way. I'm gonna go in that chain of command to the gentleman that introduced me to Instant Recall, and I am very happy that he did, and that is Bill Terryberry. Bill, are you on?
I am here, Hinton.
Well,
And
glad to have you.
I don't know what to say. You've said it all.
Well,
when I was introduced to this by a very good friend of mine and a good friend of Tony's, I wasn't interested in another program or something. I'm supposed to be retired and all that good stuff. But once I realized, and we've done a lot of fundraising in the past, my wife and I, Sandy, have been involved in different things for schools and youth groups and so forth and so on. And the more I looked at this, when I heard about Feeding America, we volunteered there and at our local food bank. And I shared this with a good friend of mine who is on the board of our local food bank, and they're going to be participating here right after the new year with us. It's been 35 years, 40 years in the direct sales industry. And it's been a long time when I've had a program that kept me up at night. I just started thinking about all of the different places that this could be used. There's 300 million smartphones in North America. I'm originally from Canada, so that's why I include them in it. And 7 billion around the world. And this is a program that can be shared basically around the world. And also realizing that statistics say that 1 out of every 7 child here in America goes to bed hungry. To me, that is close to being a crime. And so we got involved. I was introduced to this before we were even able to sign up. And Hinton was one of the very first I reached out to because I was familiar with his background. And we just shared it with some others. I've got some other people who've done a lot of fundraising. And this is exciting. And to me, there is no reason why those 300 million phones in North America doesn't have this app on their phone if they don't do any more than help feed 5 people every month. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to have you gentlemen on board. And this is going to be, I think, one of the best and biggest programs that I've ever looked at. And I've been involved in a few. been managing owners. And so it's just an exciting time. And the great thing about it, it's free. So I'm going to turn you back to you, Hinton. Appreciate the opportunity to share.
No, I thank you for my holiday gift going into the year and beyond. So next I have on here is Mr. Tony Baldwin. Tony's in the great state of North Carolina, and we're not going to talk too much about his diehard North Carolina Tar Heels, just where he is. But Tony is the one who really pushed and part of in the early beginnings also that brought us to the table. So Tony, if you can hear me, come on loud and clear.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that. Yeah, my Tar Heels.
Yes.
There you go. As you can see from my hat, I'm Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred, and when I die, I'll be a Tar Heel dead.
Okay.
That said, I'm kind of like Bill in the sense that I'm 2 days older than dirt. I'll be 75 years old February 21st, if God lets me have that, and it's looking good. I'm in great health, a lot of energy, get to spend time with my grandchildren. What has happened in this in particular, and I'm involved in a few businesses, and when someone called me about this, who's a dear friend of mine that I have great respect for, I said, nah, not interested in even looking at anything. And then he did what I consider to be unconscionable. I have a saying I tell people all the time. My mother, God rest her soul, told me mines and parachutes have to be open to work. And he said, are you going to dishonor your mother, or are you going to have an open mind? So I took a look at this, and as you know, the other people have said on the call, I don't think I've ever seen anything that had this kind of potential to do a great good, and at the same time, an opportunity to make an unlimited amount of income. I know early on, Mark did a couple of illustrations. I've talked to people, what would life be like if you just did this and fed people, did that great good, and you got enough income built up that your car payment was paid? Well, amazingly, if you get your 10 or 12 people and they get 6 and they get 6 and they get 6, you're going to have $800 or $900. The average house payment in America, you can go Google it. I'm building a website. Never believe one word I say. Check it out. But start looking at what the average house payment is. Start looking at, go Google what the interest rate, the best interest rate, if you had $100,000 in a bank account, would you believe that you would get less than $100 a month in interest? So every time that you add $100 a month in residual income, not only are you feeding a lot of people, but you're also essentially banking $100,000. Now you can't take it out, but you're creating that kind of income. Looking at if you do the 10, 10, 10, 10, and whether or not it's 20 across, and it ends up doing that, you're creating an income monthly that you'd need $500,000 in the bank to throw off that kind of interest. So this is an opportunity that nobody that I've shared it with